Okay, let's see, I think that's working. We're gonna assume it is. If it's not, it's not. Okay, we're doing several experiments here tonight. First of all, it's all unplugged, so it's my little webcam-y thing. It's the only thing picking this up. No microphones, no amps or anything like that. I tuned these right before I started. The temperature is fluctuating too much in here. Someone played the same song 4 times on 4 different guitars. And we're gonna start with the cheapest guitar, and we'll go up to the most expensive guitar. 4 different guitars, and I'm also gonna see if I have the song memorized. So it's gonna be "That's How Every Empire Falls," which was written by R.B. Morris. I can't remember his name. I don't know this guy. It was written by R.B. Morris in the early 2000s, and then Prime picked it up and made it his own. The versions are unique, so I think there's 2 different versions. And this is my version. So this is a Yamaha guitar, and it used to have electronics in it. I bought it at a pawn shop, and the electronics have been taken out, so I put these stickers over the holes from where the volume and controls were and so on. But I got it at a pawn shop, I think somewhere around 2008, 2009, and it's still one of my favorite guitars. Just a broken man in flight, running scared from his devils, praying hard all through the night, but mercy can't find him, not in the shadows where he calls, forsaking all our better angels. That's how every empire falls. That's how every empire falls. The bells ring out on Sunday morning like echoes from another time. All our innocence and yearning and sense of wonder left behind. Oh, gentle hearts, remember, what was that story? Is it lost? For when religion loses vision, that's how every empire falls. That's how every empire falls. Toasting wife and all his family, the providence he brought to bear. They raise their glasses in his honor, although this union they don't share. The man who lives among them is still a stranger to them all. For when the heart Nobody says I'm sorry, and draws a check, goes home to eat. At night he tells his woman, I know I hide behind my flaws. She says you're only taking orders. That's how every empire falls. That's how every empire falls. A bitter wind blows through this country. A hard ice falls on the street. If terror comes without a warning, there must be something we don't see. When fire begets this fire, like torches thrown into the straw. If no one asks and no one answers, that's how every empire falls. 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 All right, that's guitar number 1. Almost remembered it all. Let's see. Here's guitar number 2. It's an Eastman. It's a lower end Eastman. And just lost that pick. That pick. I bought this just, I don't know, a year ago maybe. Bought it used, some guy picked it up at Home Depot parking lot. And I wanted it because I wanted a cutaway acoustic electric, hence I have it. Okay. So I don't know. I think I got this for $350 or something like that, and they're, I think brand new. They're only like $450 or $500 or something like that. Anyway, I love it. It's a great sound. Pickups are good. There's version 2. I gotta say it sounds better than the Yamaha. At least in the room. I'm not sure what it sounds like through those the camera mics. He caught a plane from Manhattan, just a broken man in flight, running scared from his devils, singing prayers all through the night. But mercy cannot find him, not in the shadows where he calls. Forsaking all our better angels, that's how every empire falls. That's how every empire falls. Church bells ring out on Sunday morning, like echoes from another time. All our innocence and That's how every empire falls. That's how every empire falls. They raise their glasses in his honor, and the providence he brought to bear. He tips his wife and all his family, though this union they don't share. The man who lives among them is still a stranger to them all. For when the heart is never open, that's how every empire falls. That's how every empire falls. Had locked the door and board the windows, put the people in the streets. It's just my job, he says I'm sorry, and draws a check, goes home to eat. At night he tells his woman, I know I hide behind my flaws. She says you're only taking orders. That's how every empire falls. That's how every empire falls. The bitter wind blows through this country, a hard ice falls on the street. If terror comes without a warning, there must be something we don't see. When fire begins to spire, like torches thrown into the straw. If no one asks and no one answers, that's how every empire falls. 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 Lost my focus there. I did remember the line, but took a while. Okay, that was guitar number 2, the Eastman. They'll be voting later. Here's guitar number 3. I think this is still my absolute favorite guitar of mine. This is a Larrivee. Pretty sure I bought it in 2013. And it was my PhD present to myself. So when I bought it in 2013, I think I want to say it was like $700, $750 maybe, something like that. I don't know what they go for these days, but it's just your simple, straight up acoustic electric dreadnought setup. I like the fuller sound that it has. Caught a plane from Manhattan, just a broken man in flight, running scared from his dad. forsaking all our better angels. That's how every empire falls. That's how every empire falls. Bells ring out on Sunday morning like echoes from another time. All our innocence and learning and sense of wonder left behind. Oh, gentle hearts, remember, what was that story? Is it lost? For when religion loses vision, that's how every empire falls. That's how every empire falls. He toasts his wife and all his family, the providence he brought to bear. They raise their glasses in his honor, although this union they don't share. The man who lives among them is still a stranger to them all. For when the heart is never open, that's how every empire falls. That's how every empire falls. And lock the doors and board the windows, put the people in the streets. It's just my job, he says, I'm sorry, and draws a check, goes home to eat. At night he tells his woman, I know I hide, but I'm my flaws. She says, you're only taking orders. That's how every empire falls. That's how every empire falls. The bitter wind blows through this country, a hard ice falls on the streets. If terror comes without a warning, there must be something we don't see. But fire begets this fire, like torches thrown into the straw. If no one asks, then no one answers. That's how every empire falls. 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 Okay. That was guitar number 3. Guitar number 4 is not mine, nor will it ever be mine. Nor will a guitar this expensive ever be mine. A friend loaned it to me, and I've been afraid to play it. This is a custom Gibson. Sounds amazing. Yeah, so I've only played it a few times, but it is a beast. caught a plane from Manhattan, just a broken man in flight, running scared from all his devils, praying hard all through the night. But mercy cannot find him, not in the shadows where he calls, forsaking all our better angels. That's how every empire falls. That's how every empire falls. Bells ring out on Sunday morning like echoes from another time. All our innocence and yearning and sense of wonder left behind. Oh, gentle hearts, remember, what was that story? Is it lost? When religion loses vision, that's how every empire falls. That's how every empire falls. He toasted his wife and all his family, the providence they brought to bear. They raised their glasses in his honor, although this union they don't share. The man who lives among them is still a stranger to them all. For when the heart is never open, that's how every empire falls. That's how every empire falls. And lock the doors and board the windows, put the people in the streets. It's just my job, he says I'm sorry, and draws a check, goes home to eat. At night he tells his woman, I know I hide behind my flaws. She says you're only taking orders. That's how every empire falls. That's how every empire falls. A bitter wind blows through this country, a hard ice falls on the streets. If terror comes without a warning, there must be something we don't see. When fire begins this fire, like torches thrown into the straw. If no one asks and no one answers, that's how every empire falls. 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 Falls. 4 times. Okay. Voting will be open for the rest of the evening. We'll see which guitar sounded the best. Not that it's going to make any difference. I'm sure they all sounded like me. Such as it is.